You're not waiting for someone else to fix your problems. You're waiting for someone else to live your life. Most people spend years hoping the perfect mentor, opportunity, or circumstance will finally show up and do the uncomfortable work for them. Here's the brutal truth. You are both the problem and the solution. Your brain has three favorite escape routes when reality gets uncomfortable. First, the mentor fantasy. You scroll through endless content, collect quotes, and tell yourself you're learning while waiting for someone else to deliver the perfect formula that requires zero discomfort from you. You imagine that someone will come along and make you happy by changing your current situation. You're not seeking knowledge, you're seeking permission to stay stuck. Second, the opportunity fantasy. You convince yourself that the right job, relationship, or circumstance will finally unlock your potential. But here's what you refuse to admit. You've had dozens of perfect opportunities that you sabotaged because they required you to show up differently. The opportunity isn't the problem. Your willingness to be uncomfortable in it is. Third, the rescue fantasy. Deep down, you're waiting for someone to care about your success more than you do. You want them to push you, hold you accountable, and somehow make you want what you claim to want. But no one can want your life more than you do. You're not looking for help. You're looking for someone to live your life for you. Here's why your brain defaults to these patterns. Taking ownership means admitting that your current situation is largely your responsibility. That's terrifying because it means your past excuses were just that, excuses. But it's also liberating because it means you have the power to change everything starting right now. The uncomfortable truth? You already know what needs to be done. You're just hoping someone else will make you do it. Which of these three escape routes hits closest to home for you? The mentor fantasy, the opportunity fantasy, or the rescue fantasy? Comment your answer below. Now let's talk about what happens when you finally stop running from ownership. Stop collecting excuses and start collecting evidence. You've been building a case against yourself for years, documenting every reason why change is impossible. But here's what separates the people who actually change from those who just consume content. They track what they do, not what they think. Start a daily evidence log. Write down 3 specific actions you took toward your goals, no matter how small. Your brain will resist this because it prefers the comfort of vague intentions over the discomfort of measurable results. Replace your rescue fantasy with a responsibility contract. Write down exactly what you're waiting for someone else to do for you. Then rewrite each item as something you will do for yourself. Instead of waiting for someone to motivate me, write, I will create my own motivation system. Instead of hoping someone will hold me accountable, write, I will track my commitments daily. This isn't positive thinking. This is ownership documentation. You spend hours consuming self-help content, but most of that time is spent hoping for external transformation rather than taking internal responsibility. Build your discomfort tolerance through micro-commitments. Start with commitments so small that your excuse-making brain can't activate. 1 push-up, 1 page of reading, 1 difficult conversation. The goal isn't the action itself. It's proving to yourself that you can do uncomfortable things without external motivation. Each micro-commitment is evidence that you don't need rescue. You need practice. Most people skip step 1 because tracking evidence feels like work. They skip step 2 because writing down responsibility feels scary. They skip step 3 because micro-commitments feel insignificant. But skipping steps is exactly how you stay stuck in the rescue fantasy. Here's what actually happens when you embrace this difficult work. You stop living in constant anxiety about when your life will finally begin. You wake up knowing exactly where you stand because you track your progress daily. You stop scrolling endlessly through other people's success stories because you're too busy writing your own. The mental energy you used to waste on elaborate fantasies gets redirected into building the life you actually want. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You're the person who follows through on commitments to yourself. You're the person who takes action without needing external motivation. You're the person who owns their results, both the failures and the wins. This isn't about becoming perfect. This is about becoming someone you can finally respect. Someone who stopped waiting for rescue and started living their own life. That transformation doesn't happen because someone else finally shows up to save you. It happens because you finally show up to save yourself. Subscribe for more brutal truths and watch this next. It's about actually taking action.